Righty, so welcome back to NZ Motor Kustoms. So if you're new to this channel and come across this video, I restore a lot of cars, so I do a lot of video work every day. And I recently got sent this tripod, this UB size, it's a 67-inch one from one of my subscribers. I needed another tripod. I had one on the Amazon list, and one of the subscribers was kind enough to send me. Thank you, Outlaw Garage, William, Bill. So yeah, he sent me this tripod. Awesome. I'm about 5'10", 5'11", thereabouts, or 177, 8 centimeters without shoes on. Yeah, I'm sorry, with boots, I'm about borderline 6 foot. So this comes up to about my level. So it's quite good. It's nice and tall. It's not huge tall, but it's definitely good and tall. My old tripod would barely come down to here, if you can see down there. And my old tripod would have been scratching this sort of level at full extension. It's just a little tiny one that I bought a couple of years ago just to get me going when I started doing a bit more regular videoing. Before that I just did handheld, and I had I've actually still got it. I bought this quite a few years ago just to have something so I could sit up on a shelf or in a corner or something, so with me having something to hold my phone or my camera. So yeah, but recently just got this, so I've had this probably about a week to 10 days. I used it quite a bit at the weekend. Went out to a car show video, and then also did some time lapses and bits and pieces. Really good, awesome. It's quite solid. It's not extremely heavy. It does come with a little bag that's about that big. Unfortunately, I don't have that here. I must have left it at home. But it collapses up to quite a reasonable sort of length. So obviously you can take this piece off, the phone holder off, or camera holder off, whatever, and you can flip it on its back too if you want to do a straight up shot, you know, if you want to do a time lapse of the sky or something interesting. Obviously this here does fold over, folds right over. This just pulls out and locks on either direction, I think. Yeah, so it goes that way and it can go that way. So you can just pick it up and turn it around if you really want to, instead of, for whatever reason, if you know what I mean. Then obviously it's got like that, and like you can turn it that way, as well as obviously wind it up and down. And then it folds up too. So it's got 4 leg extensions. So it shrinks up quite pretty short, really, to be quite compact to take away somewhere. Now, if you want to throw it in a car or a backpack or something like that, like you could quite easily throw this in a backpack. If you happen to go do a bit of scenery, videoing, photography, whatever, no, bird watching, whatever you want to do. So it's not terribly big. Now you could quite easily get that in a reasonable sized backpack. You can fold it up, obviously take this off. Yeah, and then it's quite compact. It's not terribly big. You could quite easily put that on a good sized backpack, on your back, with a bit of gear and your lunch and whatever if you wanted to. I'm loving this thing so far. Like it's quite sturdy. I think it's aluminium and aluminium plastic. It's got nice little rubber feet on there, and they're on a little ball swivel, so they sort of sit nice and level depending on where you are. So something's not. So if you're on a bit of a rocky ledge or a bit of grass or something that's not 100% level, like these will just swivel to wherever they sort of feel comfortable, and then obviously you can adjust your legs to get your your level. It does come with a little remote that you can hook up to your phone or your camera or whatever, for Android and obviously Apple, iOS. The only thing I wish, it's not a biggie, but it's just got a regular old watch type battery in the back. So if you were doing a bit of travelling around, a bit of bushwalking, and you took that with you, you're going to do quite a bit of photography, and you wanted, obviously this was really handy because you don't have to touch your phone or your camera or whatever to look another shot or turn the video on or whatever, so things aren't moving around. Obviously you could hang a weight on here. It's got a hook on here, so you could hang a weight on there or hook your bag on there with something, you know, maybe a couple of small rocks or stones in your bag, just for a little bit extra weight. If it did happen to be a little bit precarious, you know, and you wanted a wee bit more weight so it didn't move around. But yeah, just I wish that was maybe a USB charge. So if you did happen to go somewhere and you're using a bit, you know, like it was getting flat, you could just have like a little USB plug, you know, next time you're in your car or whatever, plug it into your USB port, and you know, throw, you know, an hour's worth of charge, you're not driving along, and then it's ready to go again. And we've actually got one that's a bit like that on this little tripod, which is kind of why I'm saying, because every time this gets a bit low, I just plug it in, and then it's ready to go again. You know, you're not fumbling around looking for a battery. The only thing with the battery is if the battery in that did ever degrade to the point where it won't hold a charge, you know, you can always put just another battery in that. That's probably the only bonus of having just a normal regular battery. But if you're away somewhere and you're all of a sudden you realise that's a bit flat, it's not very handy, if you know what I mean. But yeah, apart from that, awesome piece of kit. So yeah, it's the, just to run past that again, the UB size, and it's a 67-inch tripod, camera tripod, phone tripod, and it comes with this as well. So that extends out quite a wee way. How big it is, I don't really know what sort of measurement it is. I'd have to have a look, but it serves my purpose. It's got a little bubble level on it too, if you really want to get into that. But my phone, it's actually got a horizon. I can turn a horizon level thing on it, so that works good for me. I always leave it on in the settings, so if I'm setting up somewhere, you know, I can just adjust and get it level if you want it level, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but awesome wee piece of kit. I don't know what the costs are. They seem to fluctuate, you know, on Amazon. They come off Amazon, off my wish list. So yeah, the prices do fluctuate a bit depending on obviously where you are. So it's not much point me putting a price up because it's constantly changing. I think it was about $70-ish, 70 or 80 bucks in New Zealand when William bought it. But I noticed, I just had a quick look just to double check what size it was, and I see that the price has changed again. So, you know, the price is always changing on some of those things. It just depends on the day and the time and the special and whatever. So yeah, but that's what the model is. So if you're interested, yeah, and you're doing a bit of videography or doing a bit of camera work or whatever, not a bad little tripod for what it is, you know, good size, nice and tall, fairly solid, fairly sturdy. Is it, you know, it's probably a good entry level sort of professional tripod. There's probably better ones out there, you know, like most things you can probably go spend $300 or $400 on something really elaborate. But for a good solid first tripod, it's probably perfect, you know, for what I'm doing. At some point, you know, I may end up with another bigger, better one or something like that, because I actually see one of the other guys I follow He's got a tripod that's actually got a big, massive, like a 4-foot at least boomstick on it. So it must be fairly solid. It must have a counterweight and everything. So you're like, that would be even better, if you don't want to do a big high shot over something, set it up and then get yourself set up. But that's perfect for what I'm using for it at the moment, and it's always something you can add to later on. But yeah, excellent piece of kit. I would highly recommend one. Yeah, and they see me on Amazon all the time. And there's I think there's a few different models in this brand. So yeah, just matter what you want. But yeah, this is the 67-inch one. Cheers, thanks for watching. I'll just put a little bit extra in. Yeah, so if you're new to the channel and you're into car stuff, please like, share and subscribe and all those sorts of things. So I might do an extra review on that maybe in a few months' time, let you know how it's lasting. So yeah, like I've only had it a week or so far, really, really good. But I might do maybe a 6-month and a 12-month review, and we'll just see how it's progressive since then, see how it's held up. So, right, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you there on the next video. Cheers.